Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. Today we're going to be talking about 2A Day 2, solving multi-step equations. Okay, and this is going to happen when there's a variable on one side of the equation. All right, so when I solve multi-step equations, I kind of hinted at this in the previous lesson. We are going to be talking about, again, the order of operations. So for example here, so don't forget PEMDAS, and make a slight modification. We can also call it GEMDAS. So instead of parentheses, I call it G for grouping. Okay. So solving equations works backwards. Okay. So instead of doing the normal order of operations, GEMDAS or PEMDAS, we're actually going to do the opposite version of that. We're going to go SADMEG. Okay. So when you see grouping symbols, I kind of agree with this, but I'm going to show some examples where we don't. Like there's times where we're going to have to, okay. When you see grouping symbols, you should, I'm going to change this to usually use the distributive property first. Okay, because if I look at number 2, there's a way to do number 2 without doing distribution. For number 3, I have to do distribution. And I'll explain a little bit more when I get to those. So let's start with number 1. Here's our multi-step equation. Okay, in this scenario, sometimes our steps for multi-steps is to combine like terms. So that's one thing I got to do is check for combining like terms. So for example, number 1, I could put the -8 and -2 together. So that's my first step to do. So I'm going to have -9 is equal to n minus 10. After that, now we have one variable. We have everything else that's in the equation. My next step is to just undo that subtraction of 10. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides of the equation. So I got -9 plus 10 is going to be a +1. And that will equal to n. All right. For number 2, now, again, the hint here says to distribute. But I'm going to say usually because here's what's nice about this one. As long as I have a single n in there, I don't have to distribute. Okay. I'm going to map out the order of operations kind of like I did on the previous lesson. The first thing to happen at n, if this was a number, is that it would be multiplied by 6. After the multiplication would come the subtraction because that's inside parentheses. So that's my second operation. My third operation would be this -8 being multiplied by that. Okay, we got -8 in front. Finally, where we would do a subtraction by 4 is my last operation. So this equation, if I plugged in a number for n, would go through 4 steps. It would multiply, subtract, multiply, subtract. When I solve it, we're going to apply the SADMEG idea. So we're going to actually get rid of this first. Okay, so I'm going to actually get rid of the -4 by adding 4 to both sides. So that -8 times 6n minus 4 equals 320. Okay, that takes care of this one right here. Now I want to get rid of the -8. That was the third step in the process. That's now that turn to get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by -8. So I do that. This is going to actually go away. So that's 6n minus 4, and that's going to equal to a -40. Now it looks like some of our previous problems. We got 2 steps here to get rid of. We're going to get rid of the subtraction before getting rid of the multiplication. So I can add 4 to both sides. So that's 6n is equal to a -36. And then my final step is to get divide by 6. I'm running out of space, but that's fine. It's nice about digital. I just keep adding more space in. Okay, so n equals -6. So again, following like kind of the SADMEG idea, I actually took care of subtraction, then the multiplication. Then I took care of the grouping symbol right there. And so I did addition to get rid of the subtraction, division to get rid of the multiplication. Then I did addition here, and then I did division here. Okay, For number 3, I can't do that. The reason why is because k exists twice. I've got k in multiple spots of my equation. So I have to do this check for combining like terms. So I got to try to get 4k and 2k together, but 4k is inside the parentheses right now. So I have to distribute the 2 first. So that's going to be 20 plus 8k plus 2k. Now I can put these together. That's going to give me 10k. And we're down to a 2-step equation. We've got multiplication followed by addition. So that my reverse order will be subtraction. So I got 40 minus 20 is 20. And I go to 10k, and then I'm going to do division to undo that. So I end up getting 2 for k. Okay. Again, the big idea today is my normal order of operations, PEMDAS or GEMDAS, we undo it. We work it backwards for solving. So we do SADMEG. We want to undo subtraction and addition. Then we want to undo division multiplication. If we see a problem in the future, we're going to undo exponents and then finish off with any kind of like grouping symbols. So that's how we're going to look at that for solving in the future for those. Okay. We won't go that far yet, but you still have multiple steps to take here. All right. That's it for today's lesson. Take care, everybody.